You're listening to the Retina UK Talking Travel Peer Support Group meeting recorded Tuesday, the 28th of October 2025.
So, hello and welcome everyone to the Talking Travel local group. We're on Tuesday, the 28th of October 2025. My name is Rachel Zimbler, for those that don't know me. I am registered blind and I have a inherited retinal condition called Bardet-Biedl syndrome, and I am the co-facilitator of this group. And I'll pass to Richard.
Hello everyone, I'm Richard Zimbler. Like Rachel said, I'm the co-facilitator for the Talking Travel Peer Support Group, and I'm also got an inherited retinal dystrophy as Bardet-Biedl syndrome, but I'm totally blind. And I would just like to say thank you to Liam, who's coming to talk to us tonight about Navis. So thank you for giving up your time to speak to us tonight, and over to you, Liam.
Well, first I'd like to thank you, Richard, and all of you for your time as well, for you listening to me today. Um, do I explain everything now? I'm not sure. Do I just introduce myself, or should I just go ahead and give the full detail? What would you guys prefer?
Yeah, you can tell us a little about yourself and a little bit
Yeah.
about Navis, that's fine.
All right. Well, first maybe a little bit about myself. I'm actually South African. I live now in the Netherlands. I've been here for 5 years in a city called Eindhoven, quite a few kilometers south of Amsterdam. And basically, our story starts, and Navis's story starts at the University of Technology in the city of Eindhoven. And we really noticed that navigation was still a massive challenge with a visual impairment or with low vision in general. We could see that the tools that were there currently, Google Maps, Apple Maps, even the tools that were specifically designed for this community, they were not just solving the problem sufficiently. Whether it was Blind Square or Voice Vista, there are quite a few tools out there. And we thought we can do something better. And the timing as well was the AI, boom, as you could call it at this point, where suddenly there's this fresh technology where we can understand the environment that surrounds somebody to such a greater extent than was ever possible before. And our quest was really how could we make navigation accessible, easy, and relaxing, How could we take what is a massively complex world and try and simplify it and make it in such a way that it's inviting to take the challenge to go outside, which of course is a massive challenge. Yeah, we formed a company called Touch Pulse 2 years ago with the mission of really making it possible and just empowering people to navigate independently. And Navis is our product. It's more than an app. It's really just a full support service that combines artificial intelligence and human intelligence. And what that means is we use AI to help you go from door to door, whether that's crossing intersections or simply following GPS directions. The question that we try to answer for everyone is, what's around me? Where am I? What's my next instruction? And if someone feels lost, you can talk with Navis in the same way that we're having a conversation now. There was never ever the possibility where you could talk to your navigation system, where you could, imagine being able to ask Google Maps a question. Hey, Google Maps, am I in the right spot right now? Did I make the right turn? What is to my left? What is to my right? That sort of capability is what we're building at the moment. And that's what Navis is becoming. However, on the flip side, AI technology is great, but it has its limitations. And we knew this from the outset, that at the current state, it wouldn't be enough to really make it possible to solve every problem. So that's why, as a fundamental support service, we provide human operators. So, if you say, Navis, look, I don't know where I am. I feel you've given me the wrong directions. I'm concerned. I feel lost. You say that and you say, look, give me a real person. And I think that there is nothing better than the ability to just make a video call with someone from our team. And then you just hold, your video camera as the kind of call that we're having right now. And you can get specific assistance for sort of edge case issues. It's quite a complex technology. There's a lot to explain, but I won't bore you guys with the details. I'm happy to answer any technical questions. But yeah, sort of where we are right now is we're building out the first sort of alpha version, you could say. And in January, we're launching the beta for free in the UK. and we're just inviting everyone basically to sign up. You can give it a try, and really fundamental and at the core of the way that we create Navis is with user feedback. And that's why we want as many people to get involved as possible, because this is a problem that you may experience on a daily basis. And what we try to create is an opportunity for you to say, look, I want this, I want that, I found this a challenge in this app, and we try our best to accommodate everyone's needs and make whatever solution extremely customizable to finally get a solution to this outdoor navigation problem.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
No, developed in Holland, was it?
I have questions.
Yes, developed in the Netherlands, yeah, or Holland, as you'd say in the UK, yeah.
Hi there, Liam. My name's Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Fellow South African originally, but been living in London for.
I can hear. I heard the
long
accent.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Congrats. This sounds like a great app. Lots of questions springing to mind. I live right in the center of London, so
Yep.
one of the issues of all of these things with any phone is obviously there's lots of big buildings around, and so that interrupts the signal sometimes. So interesting how you would deal with that. And the other thing is some apps want you to have background app refresh on because on an iPhone, and that's such a battery sucking thing that I always keep it off unless I'm using an app that specifically wants it on. So do you know whether that's something you're going to have to do with your app?
Yeah, so for the first question, we actually ran a pilot in the city of The Hague a few months ago. Time goes fast, I guess, when you're building things. But yeah, so about 6 months ago, we did a pilot project with the city of The Hague. And there's a similar issue there. We've got these tall skyscrapers, and any GPS signal that's going to enter that city is just going to get bounced around. And we detected sort of a GPS inaccuracy of around 25 meters, which is massive, and it kind of renders any sort of instruction, null and void, basically. So it was at that moment that we said, okay, what can we provide as a solution here? And we knew already that Google had developed visual positioning, where instead of using the GNSS receiver on your device, you could use your camera, and within a few seconds, if you scanned sort of the buildings around you, what Google's AR core is able to do is basically pinpoint a centimeter location of where you are based on landmarks and visual cues. So kind of like triangulating off of the urban environment. And that's actually exactly what we decided to put in the app. We're still building it out. As you can imagine, it's complicated. And we're trying to get it into the beta by January, and it's currently on track. And the whole idea would be there is that, okay, I'm in the center of London, whether, I can imagine the city of London, for example, you got those tall financial buildings. What can I do at that moment is that you would be, say, on a street, and you would scan 3-4 seconds, you'd receive a vibration. Okay, you've been localized. And in that point, we get centimeter by centimeter accuracy, which is, essential really to give accurate instructions. So that's the solution to the first point. To the second point about kind of the background refresh. So we started off with the necessity that all users would allow us to always allow location access. Simply because we want it so that it's totally hands-free, that you can put it in your pocket and walk as you would with Google Maps. However, you're right, there is quite a bit of battery drain on that. So we had a look at how Google does it, and that's how we're trying to replicate it now, where also through notifications that would be on your lock screen, that you wouldn't have to have such a kind of battery draining experience. And the users that test it now have not reported any excessive battery use so far.
Okay, good. Great answers, thank you. And with the first one, my obvious risk warning is we live in a city. I don't know what it's like in The Hague, but the phone snatching is horrific, and so I'm always I can't see, so I'm extremely cautious of taking my phone out on the street. So
Yep.
yes, I can learn to scan it around while holding it right against me and all of that. But I guess that's it's going to happen with whichever navigation we're going to use. But it's a tough one asking somebody to take their phone out if they're using a white cane, holding their phone up if they don't know how to do it, held against their body, or not certain of what to do. It's putting people at huge risk of losing their phones.
Yeah, it's a point that I hear again and again. And yeah, of course, you're from South Africa, so you're no stranger to crime. And I also know, of course, in the UK, especially London, you've got these people who cycle around and just snatch phones. The first time I actually heard this was someone I was interviewing in Bogota in Colombia, who, of course, had a very similar concern. Um, the ultimate solution here would be seeing how you could integrate with some sort of glass, some sort of wearable device, like Meta glasses, for example, where you could have potentially a live video stream where you would have centimeter accuracy at all times. That would be, of course, the ideal situation. Issue there is that Meta has a closed ecosystem. So we're seeing if we can manipulate our way through that through WhatsApp video call, because of course that's part of their ecosystem. So that's the one angle. The second one is simply just yeah, whether it's through a lanyard or some kind of connection to the phone that could make sure that it's at least attached to the person's body at all times would be a solution. But yeah, it's definitely a major concern that we need to find a solution for, and at least those two seem like the logical one. But yeah, maybe anyone in this group also has some ideas that might help with that.
I'll let other people speak and I'll
Okay.
come back later.
Thank you for the questions, Jonathan.
No problem.
Thank you. We've got Sharon has got a question.
Hi, Liam. Thanks for the presentation. One of the questions you've kind of answered I was going to ask was, or are you looking at running this along with Meta glasses? Because obviously that would be the best hands-free way of doing it. So you're obviously looking into that. That's good. And after January, when you're doing the beta testing, what is the type of charge going to be per month or subscription? What is that going to look like? And are you going to be limited to so many hours? Because I'm thinking, if you did manage to run this through Meta glasses, people could actually almost walk for miles needing support and assistance. So how does that look, and what does that look like?
Shall I go in the kitchen now?
I'm guessing that's not for me.
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, so for the first one, in terms of the business model, of course, when we set out, we had to meet the costs of fairly consumptive server costs, etc. So we offer the ability for someone basically to have unlimited AI access for around 20 to 15 pounds per month. Of course, we can't say at this point because it's still quite early.
Right.
But our primary business model and our primary plan actually is to try and make it as affordable to the consumer as possible, just meeting the costs and trying to break even. And then really with the sort of support service where we offer tele-assistance where you can call us, a side benefit is that we basically make any building accessible. So if you were to reach not just the door of a building, but if you needed help navigating through that building, or for example, King's Cross or any sort of complex train station like that, you could use Navis inside, right? And interact with one of our teleoperators. And this is a massive issue that would be solving for transportation companies, for hospitals, for other institutions where they're under, at least in this country, and I think in a lot of other countries as well, they're under immense pressure to make buildings accessible. And the plan here is, okay, well, how can we go to these, corporations, for example, as well? I saw that Tesco and Be My Eyes also have a collaboration. So it would be something similar to that, but more navigation focused. And rather than volunteers, it would be really trained professionals with a live dashboard. So that would be sort of the primary way that we would want to meet our ends. But in areas where that's not possible, we would offer a subscription for the AI navigation, so sub £20 per month, and then users could pay for minutes if they wanted to interact as well with a teleoperator as they desire, as they demand.
Right, okay, so that would be per minute that they
Yes.
actually interacted with it. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how would the operator know the person's location? Would they be looking at Google Maps, or is it what is coming through the actual camera that they're seeing? Because obviously, if I was to walk down my street, you're not necessarily going to know where I actually am unless they're able to pick up the location. So they pick up the location similarly to what I think it looks like Tesco's going. Certainly the video I watched on Tesco, they knew which store the person was in to be able to say, well, the beans are on this shelf or on that shelf. How is the teleoperator going to know where the person is, or is it just what's coming directly through the camera?
So we really started with the navigation idea at the beginning. You know, as AI navigation was the starting point, and then we knew that we needed a human fallback as just sort of a support mechanism at all times. And that means that anybody in our trained team as an operator will have the dashboard where they can see the route that you've taken. They can see sort of really advanced points. We can see potential obstacles, objects, not simply through the user's camera, which they
Okay.
would point in the direction where they want information, but also through the dashboard, which provides a lot more info than Google Maps would.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your time.
We've got Perm has got a question now.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Liam. Brilliant presentation.
Thank
I
you.
think most of the questions have been already answered, but would this be suitable for someone who's got dual sensory loss, say, if they've got hearing aids?
Yeah, so the solution that we have in mind for that is, of course, through haptic feedback. Our primary focus was really audio first, which of course makes that an additional challenge because it's really a voice interaction, so conversation interaction. But our next step after our beta is really to see, okay, how can we offer the information either simply through the device of the phone through haptic feedback, and kind of sort of the idea with the visual positioning is as you were to rotate your arm, you would feel vibrations in the sort of orientation and the direction that you need to travel. And that only works because of the visual positioning where we have centimeter accuracy, because we know if we know where you are really well, and we of course know where you're supposed to go because that's where you've planned, then the difference between those 2 points we can give to you through vibrations. So that would be the solution there. But it's a really good question because it's a massive challenge that we haven't focused primarily on to solve now, but on the longer term we definitely will take a look at.
I have another question, and it is travel related. I'm due to go to Scandinavia, so we're going to Norway, because family are Danish. So do you have any points of interest where we could go? Norway.
In Scandinavia.
Well, I've been to Scandinavia. It's Norway we haven't touched upon, so we're doing a mini cruise.
In Norway?
Around there, yeah. Don't ask me how
I've never been to Norway.
Oh, haven't you? Okay. Well, if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
We've got John Darker's got a question.
Oh, thank you for all the information. It's really good. Just a question about glasses, really. You mentioned Meta, but of course, there are other glasses coming out on the market. Envision, Ally Solos, which for you conveniently also based in the Netherlands. And of course, behind them you've got Echo Vision from Jaeger. So Meta's not the only solution. There may be others, and that may be an easier way in for you because they're newer and they are custom built for the blind community, more so than the natural accessibility that's come with the Meta Ray-Bans. So just a comment, really, that you may already be looking at this. There are other options out there, but I agree that using them with glasses is the ultimate solution. If they could be paired, that would be great.
Yeah, so you know, Envision, they're based a stone's throw from where I am right now. Actually, I'm going to see them, I think, in 2 weeks at one of their events. Their focus primarily now, I think, is really on Ally, the AI
Uh-huh.
assistant that they've built out. So what I did is I contacted Agiga, the ones making Echo Vision. I had a look at their product. I actually met them in Los Angeles at the CSUN conference in March, and I was really impressed with their tech. So we're going to see. We're pulling together a meeting. I think the email was literally 2 days ago, so it's quite timely, your question. Because yeah, it's just it'd be silly not to think that that's the viable solution for the future to also address the concerns of Jonathan, and just make kind of a more seamless interaction with the tech. Of course, I've heard from people that they don't want to wear glasses. I've heard from other people that they love glasses. So the option, we try to make it there, and then of course it's a mutually beneficial relationship with Agiga or Envision.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, fantastic. I think the more these partnerships we have, the easier it becomes for the blind community, really. So
Absolutely.
thanks very much for what you're doing. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks very much for your question, John. Got any other questions?
No one's got their hand up at the moment.
I've got a question for you, Liam. You
Yes.
how much of the information that's coming through on the Navis app is localized to the phone, and how much will it need to be constantly connected to 4G or Wi-Fi? You mentioned going into skyscrapers and for additional assistance through like telecoms and train stations, but you can only get to a certain point, especially in the large stations and perhaps underground, before you lose your signal. You know,
Yep.
how well will Navis cope with dropouts and stuff like that? Are you going to be stuck? And this is nothing, again, this is across the board with all sorts of navigational device and apps, etc. No 4G, no Wi-Fi, no navigation, but how much are you putting on the phone so you don't have to rely on being connected all the time?
Yeah, so currently, at least for the beta, the capability would be dramatically reduced without 4 or 5G access, simply because we try to manage as much as we can in our own server, because this reduces, the what was mentioned before about any battery consumption. That was a massive issue from the beginning. What we do offer is that, once you've planned your route, you do have that route on the device, and that will still be triggered by your GPS location. Visual positioning, that's to be seen if that would be able to work very well in 5G, because you can imagine that sort of live stream is going into the cloud, where it's then compared against a massive data set, right? So placing that on the device would be nearly impossible. However, we're trying to see about a workaround. So an offline mode is definitely going to be included in the commercial version, because like what we said, there should be no point between starting and closing the app that there is an absence of support. And whether that is AI based or human based, it has to be some sort of level where people at least feel like they've got the support or a service that can help them out. But offline, massive challenge, absolutely. And we're gonna have to find an innovative way to come up with a support mechanism for those environments, especially, entering the underground or these kind of environments where, you can't take 4 or 5G access for granted, and we have to prepare for those circumstances as well.
No, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for the question.
John's got his hand up again.
Oh, John's got his hand up again.
Just unmuted you, John.
John, you're unmuted.
He meant to put his hand up.
Oh, not sure if he meant to put
Hi.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't got any more questions.
Oh.
I'll put your hand down this one.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'll try and quickly think of one for you if you like. What's the weather like in Netherlands? No.
Not great.
Not great.
Liam, just
So
to ask,
another thing I've been looking into is Glide. So I've used Glide in the past, and I hope to get one of those in the near future. is there any way that this could be usefully linked to that in a navigation setting?
Is that the guidance device?
Yeah, the guidance device.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So yeah, I'm sure that there's a kind of an option there where we could collaborate. I'll be honest, it's not really on my roadmap right now, collaborating with them. They really focus kind of on obstacles and lane keeping and this sort of navigation issue. I think a collaboration would make a lot of sense. But for now, I think the focus would really be on wearables, like the glasses.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, John. I think Richard, was that you was going to say something to Liam?
Yeah, I was going to say, could I know you said you didn't want to collaborate at the moment with Glidance, but I know the WeWalk cane that has GPS in it. Is that something? Could Navis maybe go into there so then someone wouldn't have to necessarily have to wear wearables? They'd be able to, because it does it through the handle on the cane of the WeWalk. So you've got it, and you can use Bluetooth headphones, can't you?
So then that would be my question, before I answer your question, would be maybe to you, Richard, and to the others, is what are your experience, positive or negative, with the WeWalk cane? Because I've met them in CSUN and I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about that device. So I'm curious what people think in this community.
I can't use it because I'm too tall for the tallest one that it comes on.
Okay.
But you've got, haven't you, Rach? But you haven't charged up to.
No, I've not tried it yet. I got one given to me to sample it.
Yeah.
But it's on the list to have a look in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So once I've charged it up, I'm going to have a play with it and see how it works and whether it interlinks. Because you're talking about the glasses. We've just both bought a pair of the Metas. So we've both got a pair of Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and they're amazing.
They are.
Yeah.
The fact we can say, "Hey Meta, call Mum" through WhatsApp, and I think a few times we've got a bit lost when we've been out and about together. It's amazing.
And you can ring a Be My Eyes volunteer through them as well.
Yeah, you can.
Rachel, you said you've got the Metas.
Yeah.
You're partially sighted, are you? You've got some vision?
So I see my left eye is my good eye, my right eye is my bad eye, but I don't have a lot of vision left.
So did you have prescription lenses in the Metas?
No.
Yeah, you can.
You can do, but I haven't.
It makes them more expensive.
I bet they are.
So basically, when I got mine, I wanted the middle section, so the middle ones that have the anti-glare.
Right.
So because I can still, if the sunlight's too bright, it hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
So I went for the middle one, but at the time, because I wanted the pink frames, I wanted them to look nice.
Surprise.
Yes. No, not the price. The fact that they were out of stock.
No, I said surprise.
Oh, sorry. I said something else then. But yeah. Sort of going off topic a bit, but they basically they did me a deal at Vision Express, let's just say. So because we bought 2 pairs, we got a bit of a deal. So, but they're amazing. We wouldn't be without us now, would we?
No, I just said there are opticians otherwise you get into.
Yeah, there are other opticians. John Lewis do them, and where was it? Sunglasses Sports, Vision Express, and lots of other places. But Vision Express was local to us, so that's why we went to Vision Express.
I'm just looking at the best of all worlds. A little bit of vision, a little bit of prescription and lenses, hearing, and the navigation thing. It would all be a big improvement, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think Jonathan has got another question, and then Sharon after that.
Yeah, I was just you asked about the WeWalk cane. I have tested it. I haven't used it as my full-time cane, but I've tested it, and the WeWalk 2 versus the WeWalk 1 is a huge improvement, certainly in terms of size and weight and everything else. Now it's a wide cane format, so that's good. I guess the good thing about it is it's got the above waist obstacle detection, which is handy for anyone. Sorry, the guy who said he's too tall for it, sorry for that, but I hope I'll give you a taller one soon, because you probably have more obstacles than I do, because I'm only just shy of 6 foot, and I get enough of those around my head as well. So you need to talk to them if you want one. I think Liam, with any of these things, whether it's WeWalk or Envision or anything, there's always going to be people with mixed reviews. I heard somebody with Envision, with the Meta glasses, and I'd be interested to hear the two of you who were just talking about your Metas. They told me that they have transition lenses, and even though they can't see, when they're indoors using them and the lenses are clear and they're talking to somebody, they found the fact that they're blind but still wearing spectacle-looking glasses changed the dynamic from the way that people had reacted with them prior to his wearing them. So that's an interesting side effect of the transition lenses. So with all of them, there is a thing. I think my question to you is back on the costs. And are you going to look at a model where you're looking for, I don't know, corporate sponsorship for a city or for as much as you can? Because you're talking about, yes, sub 20 quid a month for AI use and then cost per minute for interacting with a human. But as I'm sure you're well aware, the visually impaired community has got huge expenses because it's expensive going blind. And then the amount of people who are in and not in work is not great either. So there are a fair number of people who probably won't be able to afford the costs that you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, our approach is how can we make institutions and buildings and transport hubs, how could we make them accessible with our tool so that we kind of solve an issue for them and we bring value in that sense where we make their infrastructure accessible for everybody. And that's kind of the primary focus. Yeah, sort of the dream would be that with that kind of model, we could get enough revenue where we could sponsor at least the AI navigation to make it unlimited access for free, even outside of these partner locations. But, you know, the tele assistance and the operator assistance is just very expensive.
Yeah, no, I get the operator assistance would come with a subscription, but I think more the AI model that you're talking about being free for all would be really good.
Yeah, that would be definitely something that we would try to aim for, because of course with software, it's not as expensive as any kind of hardware device. You can get away with at least trying to break even, but we would need to have enough partners in the UK where we could make that possible, and whether that would be direct sponsorship of the solution for, for example, if it's that members of the RNIB or members of Visionary UK or Blind Veterans UK, for example, that they would get access for free through government sponsorship or through programs like this. That could definitely be an avenue. But our mission is to make the world accessible through AI and through human support. And accessible also means accessible financially. So we're going to try our best to see what we can do there.
Okay, that's good. And with the Meta glasses, you already spoke about Be My Eyes, so they've managed to do it with Meta, so it can be done. So I guess it's just figuring out how they did it, or what way of doing it.
What I've heard through the grapevine is that someone on the board of Be My Eyes is good friends with Mark Zuckerberg, actually.
That's handy.
Yeah, so I wish I had those kind of connections. Not quite the case, unfortunately. But yeah, I think there's definitely, of course, a personal relationship that's made that possible. However, from what I've just heard, that you can make a WhatsApp call to someone using the Meta glasses. What if it's, hey, let's just give a WhatsApp call to Touch Pulse? And that could be a way that we could see if that's possible. And that's something that we're thinking about, at least for the beta. Because what that also enables is if, for example, we have a server overload where we've just got too much activity or too much stress on our local servers, that you could still make a call to us because it would be on the Meta server, through a WhatsApp call rather than through a call through our app specifically. So we're thinking to roll that out for the beta at least, and that would be something that would be implementable through the Meta ecosystem.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for your question, Jonathan. Sharon, have you still got a question?
Well, it's not really a question. It's just to give some more information on the Meta glasses with regards to having prescription lenses put in them. I actually had a trip to Glasgow last week to go to the Ray-Ban shop, and it is only the Ray-Ban shop who actually can put the prescription glasses in them. There's 3 levels of thickness, if you want to put it like that. I have I think I'm number 8 on the thickness scale for my glasses. So to thin my glasses all the way down in any of the frames was 300, I think £385, because in total the glasses have now gone up. So to buy the frames and must have been slightly cheaper than that, because to buy the frames and to get the lenses thinned down as much as I wanted them down, it was about £580. So it's just to give people that information. But my understanding, it is only Ray-Ban who can what you call glaze the glasses. Vision Express, Sunglasses Hut, and all these other places, John Lewis, none of them can actually do the glazing. It has to go through Ray-Ban, but you can actually send your prescription to Ray-Ban. There is a helpline that you can do it all through. You don't have to go into a Ray-Ban actually shop to do it.
That's good to know. Thanks, Sharon.
And then also on the Ray-Bans, I got the option to, so you can pick the coloured lenses. So I could either have black, brown, or green. And then basically from that, you then can either have, like you say, the standard, if you don't need a prescription, then you can have the middle one, which I've got, which has got the glare, or then you can have the, which is the polarized ones, or then you can have the third option, which was the transition ones. So there's lots of options out there, isn't there?
Yeah, mine was the thickness of your lenses. There's 3 for thinning the lenses down, because obviously you've got a high prescription. Your lenses are thicker than milk bottle bottoms, and so there's 3 different levels in that as well, to be able to thin them down to what you actually feel you want. And again, it was interesting because I asked her what the thinness of the lowest one would be, and the mil on my own glasses is 5 mil. So just to give you an idea, and the thinness of their glasses was 6.5 mil. So that gives you an idea that they're obviously not thinning them down as much as what regular glasses can be thinned down. So that then brings an extra weight to the lens and to the glasses. And that was my concern, that if you put your head forward, if you've got heavy lenses, they're just going to fall off your face. So you're actually going to be, because you can't adjust the frames whatsoever. What the frames are is what they are. You can't melt them in to make them fit your head better, or the nose pads or anything. So it's just bear that in mind, that it's the weight of the lens that you're actually going to put in that. And that's why I've not bought them yet, because I can't decide whether just to go for plain lenses and not have any prescription, or go for the full prescription. I can't decide which way I want to go, because if they're too heavy and they fall off your face, you're not going to use them.
No.
Any other questions from your event, Navis?
Have we got any more questions for?
Yeah. Hi. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Mosey from Bolt. Are we going to hear a demonstration tonight of the app? I use Soundscape with my fans every time I go out, and I can listen to Soundscape through my glasses, and that at the moment works for me. Doesn't work for everyone, but I'm really interested to see if your app is going to be better than what I already have. I am.
Sorry. I think I interrupted you there. Did you want to add something? Because I had a question for you.
No, I just want
Okay.
a demonstration.
So currently the app is in alpha version, so we've got it available on test flight for a very small portion. I think, let me see, I haven't updated the one on this device that I have with me here. Let me put it up. Usually, live demonstrations always something goes wrong, so bear with me here. Um, but I'm curious in terms of soundscape, what were the things that you are looking for in another app? So it's
Uh,
loading up here, by the way.
more navigation. I mean, I use markers, so
Yeah.
I markers on my routes, and I only go on recognised routes really. So I know when I hit the marker, I know exactly where I am and what's in front of me. And I use the glasses, so as I'm walking along, I will do the look and tell, and they'll tell me if there's any obstacles or any people or leaves on the floor. It tells me all, gives me all that up-to-date information as I'm walking along.
And that's through the Meta glasses that you use?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're brilliant for that.
Yeah. And then the navigation system that you use is through Soundscape.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then let me see if Navis is awake.
Hello. It's good to be assisting you again. To start, where would you like to go, or what would you like to do next? Please remember to tap the screen after you speak.
Hey Navis, I'm with the peer support group here today. I'm here to do a demonstration. They would like to know a certain destination. You guys can hear this, by the way, can you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, where would you like to go today?
So can you find me the nearest Albert Heijn? Albert Heijn would be, for example, like a Tesco. It's sort of the Dutch version.
It's a transit station called Breda van Duivenvoordestraat that is 75 meters away. Would you like to go there? Or were you interested in a supermarket?
Let's go with a supermarket.
Okay, I found one location nearby, a transit station about 75 meters away. Would you like me to search further? Or would you like to go there?
Let's go there. So now a navigation is being planned. The sound, we're definitely going to improve it. We've heard some feedback on that.
Okay. Navigation is starting to the train. Walk on Ploegstraat for 83 meters.
So that's it. I mean, I kind of have to walk outside with the laptop. Might run out of Wi-Fi range there, but you can kind of get an idea. This is sort of the very basic version. You know, there's one voice. It's extremely American, which we're definitely going to change up. And
Very
we talk.
difficult to follow the instructions with an American accent.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of the basic one from our supplier, which is Google's text to speech. And we talked to some guys from Blind Veterans UK, and they said, yeah, you got to sort that one out. So it's definitely on the roadmap. They weren't happy with the accent at all. So we're definitely going to change that one up.
Again, though, Liam.
Will the instructions include left and right?
Sorry?
Will the instructions include things left and right, like? And with the We Walk game, which I've also trialed, it will say in 50 meters you're going to turn right, or in 10 meters turn left.
Mm-hmm.
Is it those kind of instructions?
Yeah, so you can imagine that's sort of in terms of levels, in terms of how the technology works. So the first one is sort of the waypoints. In Soundscape, they're beacons. Those are kind of the breadcrumbs along the path. What we do is we have a technology where we attach those to real walking paths that we identify using OpenStreetMaps and Google Maps. And then on top of that layer, you've got the instructions. So typical, hey, walk for 50 meters, turn left. We felt that those instructions didn't provide enough context about things that were potentially on the route. So what we do as you're walking, we scrape the environment, or we scrape a data set, you could imagine. So when you're walking with Navis, it will say you will approach, for example, a trash can that will be in the middle of your path, and this is kind of important so that when you with the walking cane and you feel something, it's potentially that trash can. There's more context as well. We really try to identify everything that's potentially on that pavement for the next 20 meters, 25 meters in front of you. And then it's yes, go left, go right. One of the big issues is people don't know where north, south, east, west is. I think that's just for everyone generally in the population. So what we have for that is the checkpoint system, which is all about vibrations. So if you really want to know which orientation you need to be moving, which direction, you can use that system to get the right sort of feeling in which direction you need to be moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rich, did you have something you wanted to jump in with?
I was going to say it's down to personal choice because some people like American voices and some don't. And also, just to ask a question, when this is like fully live, will there be an option to be able to speed of the voice up as well? Because that was a bit for that would annoy my ears being that slow.
Okay, so you would want it considerably faster.
Not mega faster, but just a bit.
So for you, ideally, from what I understand, would be the ability to choose a voice, maybe out of an option of 5 or so with differing accents, and then the ability to speed it up or slow it down.
Yeah.
Give
Okay.
example, on his phone, he has it at 100%, where on my phone, I have it on 70%.
Interesting. Okay.
Rich's phone talks like a Japanese.
Talks far too fast.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but
The other thing is verbosity. So you're talking about it's going to tell us about everything that's 20, 25 meters ahead of us. So
yeah.
I don't really care about a trash can. I don't want to know necessarily that it is a trash can that I'm walking into. It's just an obstacle. So some people will want to know every single detail. Some people want to know medium and somebody less. So are you going to have different levels of verbosity as well?
So what we can do is there's sort of 2 options for the way that you get your data. So what you can imagine is as you're walking, we cast a net of the data around you. So it's basically just it's just a circle, a radius around you. So what we want to offer is the ability for you to determine how much that is. What we had before was like 20 meters, and that it was literally talking about all the trees that were to our left, and we looked left and it was a forest, and we were like, okay, well, that's probably not the most relevant information. So we put that down to 7 meters, that it extracts all the information around you. But what we can do is just make that customizable so that the user can determine, okay, I want it at this kind of radius. And on top of that, the ability to filter out certain types of information. One of the issues I had using the app in the past couple of weeks is that it would talk about objects that were just redundant. An example being, I walked past the train track and then it talked about train signals as an obstacle. And yes, of course, in my radius are train signals, but I just went under a bridge and there's probably a train signal that's definitely relevant for the train, but not for me. So that kind of filtering and sort of understanding the information that's essential is, of course, from our side as developers, important to make that decision, but also allow people to customize what they want because, it has to be adaptive because everyone has a different desire, as I've noticed so far.
And what about repetition? Because there's one app I remember testing where it would say bus stop in 15 meters, bus stop in 10 meters. And sometimes it then got really irritating because it would also tell you the bus stop was 10 meters or 15 meters behind you while you were walking away from it. So having something mentioned multiple times before and after you've passed it, that's a lot of noise to have going on.
Yeah, so I think it's important to iterate that kind of the fundamental philosophy we're trying to abide by is cognitive offload. Of course, that's quite a difficult goal to achieve. And what we've had in the app is that, for example, you would have a turn left in 300 meters, and then you hit 150 meters, and it was you need to turn left in 150 meters, and then you need to turn left in 100 meters, and 50 meters, and 25 meters until you got to that point where you actually had to turn left. And you could have just been listening to the sound of the trees and the birds for those 75 meters and had that notification just at the end. So it's definitely something that we're trying to take into account. And repetition is definitely an annoying one. And if it doesn't fall under the fundamental principle of cognitive offload, then we try to remove it. But yeah, this also requires feedback as well from people's experience because we're testing this in the Netherlands and around the world, but it's only in the Netherlands that we're doing in-person testing and pilots. So things may differ as well in the UK.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Liam. Just keeping an eye on time. It's about
Yes.
to 8. I've just got one final question before Rachel and Richard can wrap up this evening. You mentioned about the subscription in the UK. Would that give someone the ability to use Navis abroad? I know Richard and Rachel are intrepid travelers. They love going abroad. Would they be able to use Navis abroad, for example, using a UK subscription, or would they have to buy something different to use it in, Europe or, America or Australia or something like that?
No, so any subscription is totally global. We work across borders, and you can use Navis now in pretty much any country in the world except North Korea and China, which I'm not sure if anyone's heading there anytime soon. But yeah, so it's totally scalable pretty much. And if you have a subscription with us, you have a subscription with us, whether that's in the UK, Europe. One feature that we've got, kind of after solving the core problems is we want to create a tourism mode where you basically just click tourism on, for example, and then you'd get a lot more depth of information about all the landmarks that you walk past. Because what we have the capacity for you to do with Navis, I mean, it's so intelligent that we have to make it dumber so that it's just, sticks to the point and is super functional. But with a little bit of prompt engineering, you can make it that if you're walking past, for example, a historical landmark, or you're walking past some old streets, you can talk with it as if it's a tourist guide. And that's the capacity for, of course, longer down the roadmap. But we would love that, hey, you're walking in Barcelona and Ciudad Bella, what is this cathedral behind me? Tell me the story of Santa Maria del Mar or something like this, and for sure the app has the capacity to do so. That's not our core problem we're trying to solve, and we're trying to get people A to B with full support first. But for those avid tourists and travelers out there, Navis would definitely be a good tool in your toolbox.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very, very much for your time. I'll pass back to Richard and Rachel. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us.
Sorry, I've just got one question.
Yes.
So you mentioned about the sort of beta testing.
Yeah.
Is there options for people to test it in the UK yet, or did you say it's not tested in the UK?
So everyone in this group who wants to give it a go, you can go to www.touchpulse.nl/Navis. There you can read some information about the things that I've said. I have a tendency to talk a lot, but if you have anything that I didn't mention, it's all there. And then you can click become a beta tester. You just put in your info, and then what we can do, we'll probably send out an early release just so you can give it a go, the new user interface. But yeah, for the UK, it's coming out in January for about 3 to 4 weeks. We give a free unlimited access, close it off, do some development, and then try again and see the feedback we get. So my call out to everyone who's interested, just sign up. We'll keep you in the loop, and you can try it out for free and give your feedback about it as well.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the follow-up email along with the audio recording of tonight's presentation and meeting. And if Liam's happy to share everything about Navis and Touch Pulse and contact information and how you can get involved in supporting the production and the testing of this device, then we'll add that as well. I've already signed up, and it's a really good program to be a part of.
Happy to hear it.
Oh, well, we just want to say thank you, Liam, for all the information. It's been a brilliant, talk this evening. It's been great to hear about the Navis app and something definitely that I know Rich will and I will have a look at it and sign up and love to test it and see how it works when we're out and about navigating when we're off on our travels. So from everyone in the group, thank you ever so much.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah. Thank you everyone for your time. And I think it's also important just to clarify that we're here for the long term. And like I said, it's more than just an app. We really want to use AI to build out a support service that's affordable, and really just gets you from where you are to where you need to be. So we're not going anywhere. We just secured some funding as well. So we've got a great team, and we're going to keep on going until the job is done. So yeah, we're excited.
Oh, sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. Richard?
No, just to echo, thank you, Liam, for your time this evening. It's really interesting to hear about what you're developing, and I'll definitely be signing up to beta test it. And thank you for coming and sharing it. It's been really, really interesting.
Yeah, it has been really good. And Mark, I don't know if you got anything you want to share about Retina UK? Any groups that you want to share now?
Yeah, so there's lots of peer support group activity coming up over the next couple of months. Unfortunately, too many for me to mention, but we do have next week, we've got the men's peer support group, the women on Tuesday of next week. Wednesday is the women's peer support group, and then Thursday we've got our Talking Home and Garden, where we're going to be introducing Brian Coates, who's our brand new group facilitator for that online meeting, and they all start at 7 p.m. and will finish at around 8 p.m. And then we've got lots of local groups coming up into November, so please check out the events page on our website, www.retinauk.org.uk. If anybody wants any other information about our peer groups, then call our helpline on 0300 111 4000, and a member of the team will be able to support you with your inquiry. So, but thank you again for Richard and Rachel. Thanks to Caroline for helping to read out questions and people's names. Much appreciated. And once again, thanks Liam for so much for coming on and sharing Navis and Touch Polls. It's much appreciated.
That's been great. Thank you. Does anyone have? We got probably got a couple of minutes. Does anyone have any other travel related, really quick, any points that anyone wants to raise? We've probably got a couple of minutes.
Somebody said about going to Norway. I went to Tromsø, which is inside the Arctic Circle, and I think it's the world's most northern brewery where you can go and have a beer. So that's a really fun place to go. Some incredible views there as well. So that's the land of the midnight sun, although not at this time of the year.
Oh, brilliant. Great.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, carry on.
I found Navis on Google Play and I've downloaded it. Is it the right app that I've downloaded, or is it the wrong thing I've found? It's a little, when it comes up on the screen, it's a little yellow square with someone with a cane.
Yeah, so we can't seem to remove the app now from the Play Store or the App Store and then be able to put it on later. So we just have to leave that version. That is probably 20 or 25 iterations old. So sometimes I've got some mails where people open it up, they're like, what on earth is this? This isn't what was expected. So yeah, that's definitely not what it's supposed to be. But I'm not sure if you've signed up on the website, but if you do, then you can, I will send you actually an earlier version to anyone also in this group who signs up. If it's within the next few days, I can send you the test flight version, which will be much more recent, the up-to-date version that we're working with at the moment.
Oh, brilliant.
Can you pop that link into the chat?
Yes, I can
Because it
do
was
that.
too much to listen and try and write it down. Thank you.
No problem.
And as Mark said earlier on, everything from tonight's meeting will get shared in the emails that get sent out after this meeting, and also the recording will get shared as well. So for people to sort of look back at a later date, they'll be able to get the information as well.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Brilliant. Well,
thank you.
Thank you. If no one else
so
has
much.
got anything else to share, say thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. So thank you everyone, and take care.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening.
Bye.
Bye.
It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via a helpline on 0300 111 4000 call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.